Hi Georgetown, my name is Trinity. I am a sophomore in the college, and today I'm going to be talking all about Zoom fatigue and the things I like to do to combat it. So let's get into it. So what is Zoom fatigue? If you've never heard of the term Zoom fatigue or being Zoomed, it means that you are experiencing a physical burnout or mental burnout or tiredness from spending too much time on virtual communication platforms such as Zoom or even GoToMeeting or Microsoft Teams or anything of the sort. It's crazy to think that we've been doing Georgetown online for almost a year now. I'm so proud of all of us Hoyas for getting through it and sticking through it, but it has been a challenge not getting Zoom fatigued or not getting burnt out from looking at our laptop screens or looking at ourselves in a camera for almost a year. So here are some tips that I have acquired that I like to use on almost a daily basis to combat my Zoom fatigue. So the first tip that I would suggest is to not multitask while you are on a Zoom call. I am personally guilty of this, and I'm pretty sure many of you are as well. It is just so easy to want to check our emails or check Canvas notifications or check our phone notifications because they're probably right next to us while we are in Zoom meetings. But actually, studies have shown time and time again that multitasking is actually really bad for your long-term memory. So if you are in a class that requires your full attention, just try putting your phone away or putting it face down. Maybe try not to have any browser tabs open so you won't be tempted to look at anything else, and just pay your full undivided attention to your Zoom lecture or to your Zoom call, because it is pretty obvious on Zoom when someone is not paying attention. But like I said, I'm guilty of this and I'm trying to get better at it every single day. The next tip I have is to try to take breaks away from your computer screen or your cell phone screen whenever you can. I know this is definitely not the most realistic tip because everything we are doing is through our technology nowadays. But if you can find little breaks in your day to maybe not look at a screen for at least 10 to 15 minutes, that will be definitely ideal, maybe at least 2 to 3 times a day. For me personally, I love to use a study technique called the Pomodoro technique or Pomodoro method, also known as the tomato timer method, where you basically focus and work for 25 minutes and then you take a break for 5 minutes, and after a complete 2 hours, you take a 15-minute break. And during my breaks, I always try to put my phone away, close my laptop, get off of my desk chair or my bed, wherever I happen to be studying, and maybe just walk up and down my stairs or do some light stretches or just go outside for a little bit just to get some fresh air. But anything that I can do to just not look at a screen for too long, and it's definitely better for your eyes as well. Since campus has moved online, we are communicating through Zoom for our classes, our social events, our club events, job interviews, internship interviews, and basically everything else. So at the end of the day, my third tip would be to maybe try to limit the social interactions and social gatherings that you are attending virtually. I know this may not be the most realistic tip, again, just because being on Zoom, being in our clubs on Zoom or hanging out with our friends over Zoom is like the one way we can really communicate and kind of bring that sense of normalcy back into our daily routines. But at the end of the day, I always have to ask myself if a certain social event is worth it for me to go to, if I am feeling extra fatigued that day or just super zoomed out, or I just negotiate with myself that I will stay at an event for a certain period of time and then leave early or come to the event late, especially if it is not mandatory, but I would still like to attend just to cut down on my screen time. For me, experiencing Zoom fatigue is definitely a case-by-case basis, and I take it day by day. Some days I can be on Zoom all day, no problem. Other days I just need to call it a day and just get off of my computer and just sit down for 5 minutes without staring at my cell phone or my laptop. But at the end of the day, you know, it is up to you. It is for your mental health and for your physical health. So be sure to be taking care of yourselves out there. And that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed all the tips I had to give you. Hoya Saxa. Bye.